Hello, everybody, and welcome to one more quick video hangout and video tip on the concept of the front end and back end system for a school or for an educational institute. So here I'm taking it for an education institution or for institutions where like where children come in and go. So this question was asked to me by a person who is running a school, like for LKG and pre-KG, and what can be a good front end and back end system for the school in terms of developing the overall revenue and making more money, earning more profits, which is a very good goal for having as a business owner. So I'm going to be discussing on a few key pointers. So like it varies from each and every school where we need to take care in terms of taking into consideration every single asset and every single resource that is available, and it may be at times highly individualistic. Let us look at what are some of the things which can be applied across for all institutions, for all education institutions, and what can be those front end and back end work. So what can be a front end and back end work? It's like, first, who are the audience or who are the consumers that are going to be like purchasing from you as far as your offering? They're going to be children. So anything and everything that is concerned with children can be your front end and can be your back end, where like if you're running in a school, then it's like it's about the notebooks, it's about the school uniforms. Those are some of the things which you can do it. Today, a lot of parents are interested in terms of parenting programs, are interested like in terms of like helping their children to go to the next level. So that means a lot of co-curricular activities, a lot of like arts, dance, and those type of work. So you can run, provided like you can either do it as a tie-up with an organization which can do it, or you can use your own asset, and that is the space where you can get some trainers and do it, where like you can conduct some classes, like it can be karate classes, it can be some sports classes, it can be arts and science classes of music, songs, dance practice, painting, instruments, musical instruments. So these are small things which you can go ahead and do it. One of the most important asset which I have seen across different educational institutions, the most important asset which a lot of times can be underutilized, is the space. It is the space as in the premises. So most of them, they have either taken it out for rent, or they have taken it out, like in terms of lease, or they own the building and they own the place. So what can happen is, apart from the school time activities, this space can be then given for other people who can utilize the same space for related work. Like say for example, most of the coaching centers which do coaching for like in terms of entrance exams, all India entrance exams, and those things, they prefer to conduct their classes in different schools. So you can do the same. And the same, like for as far as the co-curricular activities are concerned, in terms of arts, music, musical instrument, dance training, or like painting training, and all those things, you can also find institutes which run work like that. You can get into a joint venture partnership, like where you can say that I will give in the space, and I will also provide in some database of my own school students who will be able to participate in the program. If you are also, like you can bring in your own trainers, and we can maybe, like till this level or beyond this level, we can split up on the profits. Something like that, like that can always be worked out. It can always be worked out. So when it comes to the front end and to the back end, it's like, how much you are able to utilize that. Whatever I've shared over here, it can be used in the front end and it can be used in the back end also. And another one thing is the continuing education. So what do you mean by continuing education? Suppose like you are running a kindergarten school, then you can sign up with a school which runs from first standard or something like that, where they can say, like, hey, give some preference, or first complete your admissions from students who are finishing their kindergarten with us. If you're running in a primary school, first standard to fifth standard, or a secondary school, say first to eighth, then like you can go to the next level. There are certain schools and there are certain institutes which run like only for 11th and 12th, so they can like go ahead and do a tie-up with similar opportunities. The same thing can be done like even in terms of certain colleges, because a lot of colleges, what they do is they go out and try to reach out. They spend a lot of money in terms of their advertising budget. So if you are school, if you're running a school which is like catering to those audience, like the +1 +2, you can ask some of the colleges also to come and like do a presentation over there. So it's all about like like how broad you are able to serve the students, how much value you are able to bring in to the students and bring in to the parents, especially like where the parents see the value of it. I mean, in case again, I'm taking an example of a kindergarten school. Parents, they look out for like space, especially working parents where both the father and the mother are working. What they do is like like, okay, fine, after school is over, either somebody has to look after the child, and this happens like not only for kindergarten, it's also for primary, and to a certain extent even up to 10th standard, where like the child needs to be somewhere else, or like they need to be engaged, or they need to go to their friend's place, or somebody else, like needs to be taking care of them. Now, can your school provide an opportunity like that where those children can be taken care of? Now that can be a good way of like one more way of earning in revenues. And why I'm sharing all those things, like let me make that statement. I didn't share it in the video, so let me rather say it over here. Is a lot of schools. I have come across a lot of education consultants and educational people who used to run schools, but they had to close it down for one simple reason, and that was because they were not generating enough revenue. They were not generating enough revenue, and for that main reason, you need to have something like the front-end system and the back-end system, and be able to provide something like more like a complete 360-degree value offering beyond just the current academic scenario, current educational scenario, where you have one thing as your main this one, and what are the other things that you can offer to them. And yes, one disclaimer over here: for all the tips that I share over here, you also need to check in whether you are legally, like allowed to do it. So I'm not speaking about any legal implications as such. So legally, check it out. If you can do it, please do go ahead and do it, and provide them with more value, because parents need more value, children need more value, and if they can get all the things from one place, they will really appreciate it, because it saves them a lot of time, a lot of stress in terms of preparation, travel, transport, and all those things. It also saves them a lot of time, and it gives them a lot of peace, because they know their children are at the right place and they are safe. So these are the different benefits that parents get as such. And what if you're not able to do everything on your own? Go ahead and find other professionals, find other institutions which do the same, and work on a JV with them, where you can say, like, hey, this is what we can bring on the table. This is what we are asking you to bring on the table, and this is how we both of us can generate revenue and add value, and do both of them at the same time, and like develop your brand presence. So these are some of the tips that like schools can work on with in terms of educational institutions, where you can focus on both the front end as well as the back end. Do go through the video once again. Now that you're completed, do go through the video once again. And if you have any specific questions, feel free to contact me through my WhatsApp number. It's 984-111-8294. So send me a text. Maybe I'll be able to give you more clarity. And even in case, like if I feel that you may need to work on, to be worked on, or to be discussed with more on individualistic approach, where your situation will be completely different from other people, then I'll send you an email saying that, like, hey, this is how we can work on it, and it will be better that you can develop it. Educational industry is booming. There's a lot more value that educational industry needs to provide for students, for children, and also for parents. The gap in terms of the potential as to how much of value can be delivered, as to how much of value is actually being delivered, is very huge. And if that can be taken care of, I personally believe that if this gap can be taken care of, we can produce more responsible, better equipped, and complete human beings for the society, because it's in the schools that the future is actually getting better. This is Dr. Maharaja SivaSubramanian, wishing you great success in your venture. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.